Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi has revealed that the provincial government will be paying back 12 billion rands towards debt it incurred in e-tolls. Presenting its State of the Province address on Monday, Lesufi said they are negotiating with Treasury in order for national government to assist. To discuss further, we are now joined by the CEO of Organisation Undoing Tax Abuse, Wayne Duvenage. Wayne, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this afternoon. Now, a year ago, that reimbursement stood at 7 billion rands, and now Premier Panyaza has announced that it's gone up to 12 billion rands. Do you foresee this being paid back?
Yeah, look, from a paying back those who have paid e-tolls, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Panyaza Lesufi was out of line when he made that comment a year ago, and he's been trying to dodge it ever since. There is no funds, and government wasn't unlawfully collecting, and those who paid voluntarily. Those who didn't pay chose to take the risk, and so there's not going to be a refund. We don't believe. There'll be a refund, and as you can hear with the budget speech coming up, the country is broke, so it's certainly not going to pay money where it is not required.
I mean, speaking of the budget speech, in the medium-term expenditure framework that was delivered by the Minister of Finance last year in November, he said the National Treasury would finance 70% of SANRAL's outstanding debt. What impact would that have on service delivery, do you think?
Well, it's been financing it, by the way, for a number of years, over 8 years now. Close to 18 billion rand, I think, has been funded by Treasury to SANRAL in their financials because they were falling short all the time, and to cover those bonds and the interest rates. Problem is, we don't know what SANRAL has done with it. I think they've just used it as operating expenses. So the money was always going to have to come from Treasury. These were government guarantees for the bonds that expanded the roads, and we believe that, and have always said that this is social infrastructure that needs to be financed through National Treasury allocations or through SANRAL's own collections, and that's essentially what they've been doing, and they'll continue to do that. The problem we have is that Gauteng have somehow allowed themselves to be pushed into a corner to pay 30% of this debt, and that we don't understand why they allowed that. And the reason for that is this is a South African National Roads Agency, that is SANRAL. Treasury is a national treasury, and these decisions were made at a national level with the Department of Transport involved. Gauteng had nothing to do. They were bullied into accepting that this was the way they were going to try and finance these roads, and they stayed out of it. And now suddenly they're allowing themselves to be bullied into a corner, saying, no, you must pick up 30% and maintenance of these roads, which aren't even on their books. And this is the concern we've been raising for some time. Why is, and on top of that, Gauteng gets 85 to 90% of its money anyway from National Treasury. So it just doesn't make sense. These roads need to be continued to be financed by Treasury, as they have been, by the way. They don't have to go and find more money. They just need to continue doing what they're doing. And Gauteng must do something about getting out of this noose that they've been allowed to put around their neck.
All right, Wayne Duvenage, thank you so much for your time and for your inputs on that discussion with regards to the e-tolls and what the future is in accordance to the Premier of Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi. Now,